Good afternoon and welcome to the regularly scheduled City Commission meeting for Tuesday, October the 28th, 2025. If you would, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Can we have a call for attendance, please?
Commissioner Witt, Commissioner Hargis, present. Commissioner Thomas, here. Commissioner Pruitt, here. Mayor Staten,
here. First up on the agenda is we have a Community Spotlight Award.
This month we're shining a spotlight on Emily Deason, project manager for the I-69 project. Emily has dedicated her career to improving Kentucky's infrastructure and enhancing safety on our roadways. Since joining KYTC, she's served in a variety of roles, bringing technical expertise and leadership to every project she touches. As a project manager for the I-69 project, Emily oversees the Kentucky portion of the project, extending I-69 by more than 6 miles through Henderson and managing major construction efforts that include new interchanges with KY 351, US 41, and US 60. Alongside her work with I-69, Emily has been instrumental in several key Henderson projects, including bridge improvements on Adams Lane, Airline Road, and Clay Street. She's also played a big part in the community beautification, from a new roundabout signage on 2nd Street to the welcoming overpass signage now greeting travelers entering our city. A University of Kentucky alum with both a bachelor's and master's degree, Emily recently received the Young Civil Engineer of the Year award from her alma mater, recognition that speaks volumes about her dedication and impact. We're proud to celebrate Emily's leadership, innovation, and commitment to helping shape the future of transportation in Henderson and across Kentucky.
So I wanted to say thank you on behalf of the city and the community. You have had one of the toughest jobs over the last couple of years in all of Henderson. Whenever you're in charge of bringing about as much change as what the I-69 project has brought to the community, and then listening to feedback about the roundabouts, and then the other set of roundabouts, and then every, eliminating exit off of the road and stuff like that. You haven't necessarily been the one who made those decisions, but you've been in charge of making sure that the decisions that were made were implemented properly in the community. And I'll tell you, now that we have a chance to start getting rid of a lot of the orange cones and take a step back and look at a lot of the work that has been done by you and your team and so many others that are involved with the I-69 project, it's amazing the extent of the work that's happening. We're about to cut a ribbon soon, and I'm sure you might want to say something about that. But congratulations, I know you recently got another award.
Yes.
And so you're very awarded this week, but you're also very appreciated.
Well, thank you.
And we
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
And then afterwards, if you'll go me for a picture.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you so much for this kind recognition. Henderson really is a special place to work, and it's an honor to represent the project not only here in Henderson, but as I talk about the project around the state, because everybody wants to know about ORX, I get to represent Henderson, and that's really special. A few quick thank yous. Thank you, Mayor Staten, we've been talking about this project for many years. Like you mentioned, roundabouts and change can be really scary. So we've been talking about that for a while, so thank you for your help and collaboration on that. And a special thank you to Dylan and Buzzy. You all helped serve on the Streetscape Committee as we implemented all those changes on 2nd Street, and really wanted to make a warm and inviting place to welcome folks into Henderson, and I feel like that was really successful. Another big thank you to the school system, especially Chad Thompson. We worked with him a lot in connecting us with students and parents and bus drivers as we implemented this Roundabout Ready campaign. I feel like it was very successful. And last, a big thank you to just the citizens of Henderson for their grace and patience as we have the orange barrels out in their way impacting traffic. We know that's an inconvenience, and we thank for everybody for that. And this project is set to be complete on time and on budget, which is great for any project, but especially one that's multiple years, over $160 million. So we're really proud of that. And just to emphasize something that you mentioned was we are proud that we were able to install the Welcome to Henderson, Kentucky on several of the key overpasses that welcome you into the city from the north of I-69, south of I-69, and also now out on US 60. And last, the gateway sign that's out on 2nd Street. I think that's a really good feather in the cap that we have here in Henderson. It's over 20 feet tall and over 30 feet wide. So it's a large welcome into the community. And I think it really does a good job of making a tribute to the railroad bridge, the city colors, and the feather. We were able to incorporate all those different elements, and it looks really good. And special thanks to Holly, too. We had a lot of these big pieces kind of picked out with the project, but she kind of came in there in the end and really helped us nail down those details. So I'm super appreciative of that. And we are going to have a ribbon cutting in the future. We're still working on the logistics of nailing down the date, but it's going to be a really good event, and we're excited to be able to have the community be a part of that. So thank you all so much for this kind gesture and allowing me to be here today. Yeah.
All right, next up we have a proclamation for National American Indian Heritage Month.
Whereas for longer than any other people, Native Americans have lived upon the land where our nation and city now stand, and whereas Native Americans' contributions and values have shaped the social, political, environmental, and economic fabric of our state while also enhancing freedom, prosperity, and cultural diversity, and whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States, and whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month, now therefore the city of Henderson, Kentucky does hereby proclaim the month of November 2025 National American Indian Heritage Month in the city of Henderson, honoring the unique heritage of this continent's first people and reaffirming the commitment to respect each tribe's sovereignty and cultural identity.
All right, on behalf of the city and on behalf of myself and the city commission, I want to present you with this proclamation. And I wanted, so you've got a few words, looks like, prepared. Are you going to tell us a little bit about the month and about why you
I'm
make this
just going to
request
read
every
about
year?
an Indian, one Indian that is important,
Gotcha.
I think.
Thank you.
Okay, each month we, at our chapter meetings, we have what's called American Indian Heritage Month Minute. Try saying that real fast. But anyway, so this is a minute, might be longer than a minute, but I'll try to read fast. So this is a very special individual I want to tell you all about today. Master Sergeant Woodrow Wilson Keeble, born in 1917, was a member of the Sioux tribe. He was one of the most highly decorated soldiers in North Dakota history and an impressive Native American military hero. He joined the North Dakota National Guard in 1942 and was a member of the Company 1, 3rd Battalion, 164th Infantry Regiment. His unit became the first U.S. Army unit to engage in offensive operations in World War II when they reinforced the 1st Marine Division at Guadalcanal. It was during this mission that he received his first Bronze Star, his first of 4 Purple Hearts, and a Combat Infantryman badge. He reenlisted in 1951, serving in the 164th Infantry Regiment at the beginning of the Korean War. On October 20th, 1951, when all the officers of his company were killed or wounded, Keeble took charge of the support platoon attempting to complete the company's mission of taking control of a steep, rocky, and heavily fortified hill. Despite needing treatment for over 80 shrapnel wounds, he returned to duty the next day. His heroic actions that saved the lives of his fellow soldiers, earning him the Medal of Honor. For actions in combat, Master Sergeant Keeble received the Medal of Honor, the Distinguished Service Cross, the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, 4 Purple Hearts, and the Combat Infantryman badge. And the source for this is honoring Native American military hero soldiers. So I just wanted to share that with you all, and just everybody remember about American Indian heritage. It's very important. And also, February the 14th, you need to mark your calendars, because everyone's invited to the Daughters of the American Revolution annual tea at St. Paul's Church 2 to 4. We'd like to see everyone there. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Next up, we have a proclamation honoring Home Oil and Gas Company for its 100th anniversary. Do we have some people? Oh,
Whereas the city of Henderson, Kentucky proudly recognizes the enduring legacy and proud history of Home Oil and Gas Company, which was incorporated on May 15th, 1925, making it one of our oldest and most distinguished companies in our community. And whereas founded by George D. Gibbons Sr. and his son, Robert E. Gibbons and George Dudley Gibbons Jr., Home Oil and Gas Company has served Henderson and the Tri-State with dedication and integrity for a century, opening its first service station at 2nd and Green Streets on July 30th, 1925, and expanding to multiple wholesale plants, fueling stations, and delivery services for farms, homes, and businesses. And whereas leadership has remained in the Gibbons and Crafton families for over 5 generations, exemplifying a steadfast dedication to excellence, safety, and environmental responsibility, as evidenced by numerous accolades such as the Phillips 66 Lubricants Customer Service Excellence Award and Top Tier Marketer Program recognition. And whereas Home Oil and Gas Company has continually evolved, expanding facilities and adapting to changing industry standards, all while maintaining a strong connection with and investing in the Henderson community. Now, therefore, the city of Henderson, Kentucky does hereby commend and celebrate Home Oil and Gas Company for a century of service, leadership, and unwavering commitment to our community. We honor their legacy and look forward to their continued success for generations to come.
You know, the first time that I heard about Home Oil and Gas was at my first job in Henderson, and that was at Gibbs Diecast.
Okay.
I was in the purchasing department. I saw a few purchase orders come across the desk, and that was 25 years ago. And it's hard to believe that you all had already been in business for 75 years before then. I had no idea about the history. And so if anything, I got to learn a lot about your company just going through this exercise. So we appreciate you being a pillar of the community for so long. And please accept this proclamation on behalf of me and the City Commission and the rest of the City of Henderson.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you're welcome, sir.
Thank you all very much. It's an honor, and we're very humbled by receiving this award, and just very fortunate that our relatives 100 years ago started our company and built it into the success that we could begin working and continue that on. And we're very fortunate to have been able to celebrate this anniversary, and we're just very appreciative of all our team members that we work with and all of our wonderful customers that enabled us to achieve this. And thank you all very much.
Thank you. Next up, we have the recognition of new employees.
Yes, if I can invite Mr. Kevin Duncan and Miss Crystal Winhouse to the podium, please.
Hello.
Howdy.
Well, this is Kevin Duncan. He came back and took the position of our mechanic supervisor, and we are very relieved to have him back.
So, what brought you back?
It was probably the home cooking and the hospitality.
Really? No, wait. So where is this? Where can we get this home cooking at? Is that for, you do that like
Hard
randomly at
transit,
lunches
you
and
get
stuff?
potluck up there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everybody at home is listening to that, because not only do you have good pay and great benefits at the city, but you get some home cooking every once in a while. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming back and taking that job. The safety of the vehicles that we transport in your department is very important to us and to the citizens of Henderson, and we appreciate having you back.
Well, thank you very
We're
much.
very excited to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, next up, I'll invite Mr. Shea Bridges and Miss Chelsea Mills.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Shea Bridges. He is our new finance manager in our department. He will be helping out with procurement for the whole entire city, and he will also be helping me with the budget. So that is a big time 6-month commitment when we start January through June. So it will be a big help to me and through the city. And so he's a Henderson native. He graduated from USI with his bachelor's in accounting. And I believe you're also doing your master's program there as well?
Yeah, my master's of public administration. It's in the concentration for nonprofit, but I touch a whole lot of city stuff too. So.
And he has previous experience in accounting, and also his last job was at Matthew 25 doing grants and accounting management. So we're happy to have him with the city.
Awesome. Fantastic. So what turned you on to the city? What was the reason that you decided to apply for the position?
Yeah, so working at Matthew 25, I switched over there from a for-profit job with United Leasing and Finance in Evansville. After I graduated and I worked there for a little while, I just kind of felt that I needed to switch my direction in terms of where my career was going. I felt more called to, for service work, really having an impact on my community. And so I switched over to Matthew 25 Age Services and doing a lot of accounting and grants work. And then when I seen the posting for the finance manager position here, although it's not a one-to-one match in terms of job duties, I kind of did a lot of the stuff anyways, right? So, I figured I'd put my name out there, see how it goes, as well as, working at a nonprofit, you touch a lot of people, right? And we did great work there. But here I'm going to impact that many more people. So I feel good about stepping into this role and, really looking forward to helping out my community the best I can.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, thank you. Welcome aboard. Yeah, we appreciate having you.
And then our last two for this afternoon, we have two new firefighters, Joshua Barnes and David Lee Thomas.
Told them they were going to give it like a 10-minute speech each, so they're ready now. So Josh Barnes, Lee Thomas, both had different paths. Josh, he was from Alabama, met his wife, and come back to Henderson. So he was originally a firefighter in Alabama. He's actually got when he moved to Henderson, he got his pilot license, right?
Henderson Airport, yes, sir.
But the firefighting still had that calling to him, so he wanted to get back into this career path. And then Lee Thomas, he was a firefighter in Georgia, but his wife's family's from Owensboro,
Yes, sir.
so they moved back here in May. And again, he wanted to be part of the fire service, and he's here with us now. They both hit the ground running. They both have their certifications, so they'll be able to help us and be an impact pretty much immediately. So they're a little sweaty right now. They just got out of PT, but we got them over here. But anyway, we're happy to have them.
So how long have you all been in Henderson?
I've been in I've been in Owensboro for 5 months.
Okay.
So I was in the fire service in Georgia, like Chief said, for 10 years. 10 years to the day, actually. So May 11th, 2025 this year. My wife's originally from Owensboro, so we moved back up here in May. I was selling fire equipment at the time, and I was going as far east as Louisville and all the way far west of the state. Met with Chief Dixon, met with Chief Moore, and decided I wanted to get back into the game, and couldn't find a better department in the state from what I had seen. So I applied, and it all worked out, so I'm excited to be here.
Good deal. What about yourself?
About 3 years for me.
Yeah.
Back in Henderson.
So what's your favorite thing since you moved here?
Just the community, really. My in-laws are pretty heavily invested in the community, and they do a lot of outreach. Like the East End Car Show was John Marshall and that group. So it's just great community.
Well, thank you guys for coming on board. Chief Dixon's very modest, very effective, but he won't tout all of his accomplishments. But what's your new title or award, like Chief of the Year kind of thing? What was it? No, for real. What is it? What was your recent award? What was that?
It was a Fire Chief of the Year.
Fire Chief of the Year. Look at that. Yeah. So you were working for the Fire Chief of the Year in the state of Kentucky, and we appreciate having you guys on board.
And Chief, now we've still got one vacancy, or are we full now?
Full at the moment, and then we have possibly a few retirements coming up. So
yeah,
At the first of the year.
hopefully, we'll see.
Okay.
Well, stay standing, and I want to ask if there are any other members of 911 or the police department. Who else am I leaving out? Public Works. If you would please stand also. And I want to just take this time to say today is National First Responders Day. Any other firefighters in the room? Yeah, please stand. Today is National First Responders Day. And so while you're up here, I think it's very appropriate just to acknowledge that and just to tell you from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of our hearts, I can't tell you how much we appreciate the work that you do for the city. I couldn't be more serious when I talk about that. Providing safety for the public is one of the most core functions of any city government in America.
That's right.
And it is not lost on us, the jobs that you guys do on a day in and day out basis. And so we just wanted to tell you thank you for your service, and thank you. We appreciate you, and happy National First Responders Day.
That is all for this afternoon.
All right. Next up, we have Brittany Smith and maybe some others who might want to come up and talk to us from the Homeless Coalition.
Hello.
Hello.
And we will keep this pretty brief because we know you guys have a very full docket today. We just came to give our kind of end of the year report because we opened our actual Homeless Coalition physical office that we paired with Daniel Patino Shelter in July of last year. So we've gone through our first full year, and we want to say a huge thank you to you guys for having faith in us and seeing the vision with us and allowing us to open that and show you what we really could do. And we're so thankful that Melissa came to join us, and also Jessica, who's in the back as well. And so on the community needs assessment, Melissa put together a very good packet that's in front of you guys. And I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but the top 3 needs that we found from July of 2024 through June of 2025 were housing, utilities, and food. The housing was approximately 390 clients that were served. And at Melissa's office, if you remember, duplication is not a thing. So if a client has already been to the office and they come back, or she continues to work with them on case management, they're not counted every visit. They're only counted one time. So that's 390 separate people. The utilities was 120 people that were helped with those. And then food was 100 plus. But as we said at fiscal court this morning, we are expecting to see that rise after Saturday, and probably tremendously. So, and then as you look down, they also helped with children and family needs, clothing and hygiene. And number 5, the documents and identification. While that says 50 plus, I will say that's a really big one from Melissa's office, because if people do not have their birth certificate, if they don't have their social security card, they can't apply for any benefits, they can't get a state issued ID, they can't really get into housing. There's a multitude of things you can't do without those 2 documents. And so Melissa walks them through how to do those. And I have seen her beg state 6, 7, 8 times, talk to everybody that probably worked at the entire state to try to get those free as many times as she can. We do have to pay for those sometimes, unfortunately, but it is not for lack of trying on her part. I promise you that every state knows her name, and they know she's going to call them back and ask if it can be free the next time. And hopefully we just wear them all down eventually. So then 8, 9, and 10, you can see our employment, transportation, and then other specific needs. Then the key insights that we had were housing, utilities, and food are the top 3 urgent needs. They represent over 75% of the requests that were received at the Homeless Coalition office. And many households are homeless or at risk of homelessness, highlighting the critical need for rental assistance, eviction prevention, and housing support. We all know that we need more affordable housing. So that is something that we're trying to work as diligently on as possible. Children's needs, access to identification, and basic clothing and hygiene remain significant concerns. And one other key insight that we want to make sure that we say is mental health, medical, and employment assistance. While those were a little less frequent, Melissa does work with the college quite a bit in voc rehab. Those are essential for the long-term stability. So she really, when a client comes in, she really tries to go through every realm of everything they could possibly need and hold their hand through all those processes. So, under the conclusion that we had of the report is, that we need to have coordinated community support programs. And as we said in fiscal court this morning, we couldn't do it without all of our community partners. Yesterday, Melissa and Jessica, along with Jessica's son and Jessica's husband too, who didn't know they were going to be part of it for the day, they helped one of their homeless clients move into a property with housing. So we want to thank Ms. Bobby Jarrett and her staff as well, and we want to thank all of our other community partners. We do want to thank Kendall, who is here with us for the Father Bradley Shelter. If you guys haven't met Kendall yet, or if you haven't met Josh that's running Harbor House, stop by Harbor House. Stop by anytime, right, Kendall, if they would like to meet you. Both of them are doing great work, and we couldn't do what we do without having great partners like them at our shelters. And we're very lucky to be a community that has 2 shelters as well. And so you can see number 1 served at Melissa's office was homeless. That was 63.6%.
housed was 195%. I'm sorry, 195 people, 195%, thank you. That was 34.8%. And while we do list them as housed, that means they were struggling with close to eviction, multiple other things that were affecting the stability of their housing. And then 32.9% were at risk. So that means they may need preventative services like rental help, utility assistance, or possibly they were even like sleeping on someone's couch, or maybe they were living with a family member, but maybe that wasn't, quite a stable situation long term. So under the summary of needs, the biggest things that we found our first year, homelessness, of course, was our highest need. Second, housed but unstable, and then at risk of losing housing was our third biggest needs on those. So at the very, very back, we did do what we call the H count or the fall count. We're not required to do that by HUD, but we like to do 2 counts here. The Homeless Coalition feels that our fall count numbers are probably a little more accurate because it's nicer outside, more people to do the reporting, and since Melissa and Jessica have started their office, you'll notice that our reporting numbers are probably, they are truer to what's really going on in Henderson. Before, it was completely volunteer ran, boots on the ground, but that was only, a couple of days out of the year. They got as many people to come to the library last year during the HUD count as I found in 2 days of walking everywhere. Us and a bunch of volunteers. So with the winter count, with the summer fall count for 2025, it was 194 unsheltered. Last year that was 86. But we believe that 194 to be a little bit truer. One, because more people are willing to give us those reports now because they have a relationship with Jessica or Melissa. And 2, we do, of course, know that our homeless population has gotten a little bit bigger as well. And then in 2025, the sheltered count was 36. And we want to thank Kendall and Josh Steen for continuing to give us reports anytime that we ask for them. They can keep us well apprised if they're full, and things like that, any ways that we can all work together. So I know I threw a lot at you guys, but do you have anything to mention?
I've got one question. Now this government shut down and, coming November the 1st and everybody losing the funding for the food stamps and SNAP programs, whatever, have you imagined what we may have to do or what you're going to be prepared, or are you prepared for this?
Do you want to answer that question?
The day that it came down to the local DCBS office, they reached out to us and let us know of that. So our office in Taylor Hetty with the warming box out at Hayes Boat Ramp, we got together and we did a community food drive where people could drop off food. We're going to give that out Monday. Then we got another date closer to Thanksgiving. We're going to do the same thing and hopefully be able to hand out at least 100 bags per time that we do that.
And then when we spoke to fiscal court this morning, that was a question that was brought up. They're looking at their general fund at possibly doing a 3-way split. I believe it was between Salvation Army,
Henderson Christian Outreach.
Henderson Christian Outreach and the Homeless Coalition to try to help those 3 agencies be able to provide for the need during the shutdown. So they're kind of looking through the legalities of that. So, but if anybody has any food they want to donate or anything else, that please let Melissa know. She has a case manager number, and I'm more than happy to give that to any of you. You can reach out to us by email. You can call us. You can call us at Habitat. We can also get you in touch with Melissa or anybody else that you need to. We'll come pick up the food from you. We'll help people however we need to. And like as we said this morning, we feel very blessed to be in Henderson because it does seem like anytime anything's thrown Hendersonians' ways, that we all find together and try to help our community members the best we possibly can. So, I feel very blessed to be part of this community.
Just to piggyback off of Commissioner Pruitt's question, I get embarrassed about our government sometimes, and I'm not talking about our city government. Right now, it seems like we got a lot of people in Washington who would rather point fingers than point thumbs and take accountability and have the hard questions and not shut down our government and not put people in these positions. And honestly, it's quite upsetting to me. I know, and we already know, and you already know, that you're going to go through a period where you need more resources. Period. Full stop. And like you said, the community itself is very giving whenever we have people who are in need. I don't think it would be out of the ordinary for us to take a look at providing some temporary funding to Melissa Collier and your organization to help with the impending need that's coming up as of November, as people fall off of SNAP benefits and everything else. You're going to need it. Hopefully you won't need it for very long, but you're definitely going to need something. This is our last meeting in October. And I didn't talk to any of the commissioners or any of our staff or anything prior to this, but it's just something that I feel in the moment. If anyone would like to make a motion to provide $5,000 to Melissa Collier's organization to help with this temporary funding need that they're going to need, I would certainly entertain that motion and support it.
I'll make that motion that we give $5,000 to you for, at least for now. Let me ask you a question though. Does Walmart match? You know, if you buy $5,000 worth of groceries, will they match? I heard someone told me they'll match in a situation like this. So I don't know if you know, but that may be something to look into. That if you take $5,000 or whatever, and if they're matched 5, it'd make it 10, and that would double the benefits to the organization.
We've reached out to Walmart, Rollers, and Sherway, just about of what's coming up, and because we were wanting to get like turkeys or whatnot for Thanksgiving meals. But that's definitely something that I will ask.
Okay.
And we are hosting Friendsgiving at the library towards the end of this month too, which is a Thanksgiving meal for our homeless, housing insecure, or anyone in the community that just wants to come and just show people how much they're loved. So if you guys want to come, or if you want to donate to that too. Is Chief Owen still here? Chief Owen, what did you do last year? The turkey?
No, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Whatever he cooked, he asked me how much he used to bring and how to cook it, and I was like, I don't cook. I'm going to send it to Melissa.
And that's November 17th at the library.
Please remind us with some additional information closer to the time, and I'll make sure that everybody gets it, so that
Yes,
if we can be there. Commissioner Pruitt, did I hear you correctly? So we have a motion on the table.
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Thomas. Any comments or questions? A roll call on that.
I do have a
Oh,
question.
sorry.
Just
Yes, ma'am.
out of curiosity, because the numbers from 2023 to 2025 are substantially larger, and I know you can attribute that to a lot of the work you guys are doing in the relationship building, but is there another factor that you are seeing as to why that is up so much?
The cost of living's not keeping up with, when people are able to find something to rent, and I'm not gonna say this is just in Henderson, I would say the whole tri-state area, correct me if I'm wrong. They're in a line of 8, 10, 12, 15 people, and I know one person that had a rental home in town, the person they rented to said, I'll pay a whole 6 months in advance. Our clients can't do that, unfortunately, and so there's just a little housing stock that they're just kind of getting further and further pushed down, and we won't go over fair market rent either, and landlords can charge whatever they feel they want to charge, if they're a private landlord, and sometimes that's just an astronomical amount that we can't do for our clients either.
I think the summer and fall count too contributes to the Reed flooding, that people were displaced because of that came into our office that we couldn't find or we didn't know about. I think that as well, but we have clients right now that have Section 8 vouchers that can't get a place. There's nowhere to rent. They have vouchers. Some has been extended. Some think that they're at their last extension to get a voucher that there's just nowhere to rent.
So if y'all need Section 8 property, call us too, and we will be happy to hook you up with a person to put in it as well.
So a lot of these numbers too, would you say they are people that are from Henderson, or are you seeing a lot more people from outside communities coming in?
I think it's a mix of both.
We were asked that by Magistrate Berry, and I will tell you, we're trying to work with people in the tri-state as well. You know, Melissa and Jessica and Kendall all went, I believe with Chief Bolin, over to Evansville to visit some of the shelters over there. The rescue mission, if they have beds, they'll let us send people over there if we are full in Henderson. So I think the entire tri-state area is really seeing an influx, but we are all trying to work as a group too. And I will say the entire state of Kentucky, you know, Melissa has all those resources, and she has a lot of experience in this from doing a lot of casework she did for many years. And the Patino Shelter, and of course St. Benedict's, you know, they have many years of that as well. So that's why we're so happy to be tied in with them, because we can't help them here, then we try to, you know, find housing for them where we can.
And the majority of the 911 calls that we get to dispatch or HPD to go out with, they're not placed here because there's no room here. We send them to Evansville or Hopkinsville or Madisonville, Paducah, just somewhere to have shelter. So a lot that we come in contact with don't stay here either. They move along because there's shelter somewhere else that we help them get to.
You know, and the questions that you're asking are very appropriate, because one of the things that I think we all know that we need, and it's really, and I've had this conversation with you recently, you know, it's really time that we figure out how to get it accomplished. I don't know that it's necessarily a city function to fund or run, but we need a low barrier family homeless shelter here in Henderson. And we need one that caters to people who are from Henderson County, so that we don't run into issues where we're drawing in a ton of people from surrounding communities who should be doing or being as proactive as we would be doing. But that would be a conversation I'd like to be a part of, if there's a way to move that forward and we can figure out how to support each other in that endeavor, because it's missing.
Yeah.
You know, and as we have families who are teetering on the edge of being housing insecure, either temporary or for a prolonged basis, you know, they need somewhere to go to keep their families together. And so I would be highly in support of participating in a discussion that would lead us along that path, because we do need one. We do.
Back to your question, Kelsey, about the local people. Is that who? A lot of clients that come to our office that are not from here have been released from jail.
Okay.
Or they got here through recovery, and they got kicked out of recovery for whatever reason, or they completed the program, but that's the biggest numbers is coming from the jail.
Okay.
One of the things is too, $1,500 a month for a 2-bedroom. I don't consider that affordable housing for everybody.
No,
absolutely not.
No, and that's
we don't either.
and we don't either.
Yeah.
And that's important for people to know, because it seems like, other than the expansion at Canoe Creek, where they added about 40 houses, that's getting us a little closer to affordable houses. You know, when you're talking about when they originally started, it was around $150,000 a house. We are so low in that inventory. We've already had conversations with economic development, who helped us with our last housing project that's ongoing. That's certainly not an affordable housing project, but it's an important housing project. We've already had discussions with them, and I think on their strategic goals that they're going to run out here soon, there's going to be one about adding a significant number of affordable housing in Henderson, and that's going to be something that we're really going to be seeking developers to partner with and room to put it on, because we know. We don't need a housing study that costs tens of thousands of dollars to show that we need affordable housing and affordable multi-housing units. We know. And so hopefully you're going to see some action on our part sometime in the very near future on that.
And we are at Habitat taking housing applications through October 31st at noon. So people do still have time to come get those packets from us, work with us, and get those documents back to us that we would need to consider them for our next housing round as well. So we would love anybody that's considered a Habitat housing, please come see us. We'd love to talk to you.
Well, we have a motion and a second on the table. Are there any other comments or questions or discussion about that particular motion? All right, can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. And let's see what we can do to try to get that out to them as soon as possible, because we know the need is coming up next week. And so hopefully that'll give you some help, and even more importantly, give the people who are going to suffer through government inadequacy a leg up and some more resources. Maybe minimal, but it's at least something that we can.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming and giving me your report. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, next up, we have a consent agenda.
The consent agenda contains the minutes of the October 14th, 2025 regular meeting and resolution number 97-25, a resolution accepting human resources report dated October 28th, 2025, approving all actions contained within and authorizing the mayor to execute any necessary contracts for employment.
We have before we get a motion, is there any item that any commissioner would like to pull for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve, please. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a second reading of an ordinance for tiny homes.
Ordinance number 31-25, ordinance amending Appendix A zoning article. Ordinance amending Article 2, definition section 2.01, definitions Article 13R-3, medium to high density residential district, section 13.03, conditional uses, Article 15 PUD, planned unit development district, section 15.02, permitted uses, Article 16 RMH manufactured home district, section 16.02, permitted uses, Article 31 Audubon residential district, section 31.03, permitted uses, Article 35 RSMH residential subdivided manufactured home district, section 35.02, permitted uses of Appendix A zoning of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Henderson.
Such a big ordinance for tiny homes, right? Have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending 2024A bonds.
Ordinance number 32-25, an ordinance of the City of Henderson, Kentucky, amending the definition of project, and ordinance number 46-24 of the city dated October 1st, 2024, to permit the proceeds of the city's general obligation bond, Series 2024A, to be spent for costs of an additional public project.
We have a motion to approve, please. Do we have a second? Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. The next two ordinances are related to each other. The first part would be an ordinance amending job classifications for Henderson Water Utility.
Ordinance number 33-25, ordinance amending job classifications and pay plan, and ordinance approving amendment to job classifications and pay plan by creating the position of HWU Automated Meter Infrastructure AMI Technician Lead.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have an ordinance amending a portion of HWU's budget.
Ordinance number 34-25, ordinance amending portion of Henderson Water Utility 2025-2026 budget. Ordinance amending Henderson Water Utility schedule of budgeted positions of the 2025-2026 budget by adding one newly created HWU Automated Meter Infrastructure AMI Technician Lead position.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. We have a municipal order awarding a bid for firefighter protective clothing.
Municipal order number 73-25, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of firefighter protective clothing, 15 turnout coats and 15 turnout pants for the fire department to Atlantic Emergency Solutions of Manassas, Virginia, in the amount of $57,707.55.
Have a motion to approve, please. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. Next up, we have a municipal order awarding a bid for a new regular cab truck.
Municipal order number 74-25, municipal order authorizing purchase of a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 2500 four-wheel drive pickup truck with installed reading service body for the Public Works Department Maintenance Division from Henderson Chevrolet GMC, Henderson, Kentucky, in the amount of $57,484.
We have a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Do we have a second? I do want to make a comment. I'm happy to see that how this turned out, that we were able to use local to fill this order. And extremely pleased about that. Hope to see more of it. Any other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hargis.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. City Manager's report.
Yes, I have a couple things this evening. First, I would like to invite Assistant City Manager Buzzy Newman up to talk about a couple drainage projects that we've got. We've had, one of them is an ongoing project, and then one of them is a new project, but both of these are projects that we're partnering with the Henderson Water Utility on.
Okay, going back in time, we're all aware of Country View subdivision, and that project actually started over 8 years ago with the first phase of it. We're now heading toward the finish line, and this is not the last project, but it's the biggest of all the projects. The project came in a little over $1 million. However, as y'all are aware, we co-fund all of Country View with Henderson Water Utility. So the funding this year that we have in our budget is only $200,000. And we would, if acceptable to y'all, we would need to amend our budget at mid-year to add an additional $300,000 to support this project. I do want to say, if you have driven out there and driven through on days like yesterday, or possibly on a day like we will have tomorrow, the drainage system that has been installed today is working. People's homes, their yards are not flooded, the streets are not flooded. It's been a very successful project in terms of our investment. And I would recommend that we support the water utility with moving on with this next contract.
And we don't need a motion, but I think he is looking for just a general consensus on that. I think it looks like you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Unanimously. That's been, you know, we talked a lot about it back in 2017, 18, whenever we were first kicking it off. And we don't really talk about it that much, but that has been so impactful for the people out in Country View. I'm proud that we're doing it, honestly. They've been living in flooding and drainage problems for decades. Yeah. Yep.
And it may be 2 more years before we totally finish, but the bottom line is it's been a successful project.
Gotcha. Thank you.
The other project we have involves a ditch that basically drains the Bellwood subdivision, parts of Audubon Park. It also drains parts of a 5-home area that is off of Watson Lane. It also drains part of the homes that border Watson Lane. And all this water basically, probably if you look at the acreage, covers almost 500 acres of land that it drains. And this ditch actually runs beside a private driveway on Watson Lane. We have been monitoring it now for over 2 years. I think, Mayor, if you remember, when we first had our public meeting at the Bridges Golf Course, some of the neighbors brought up the concern about the ditch.
I did.
So this year, or let me say this, last year, HWU, our engineering department, Mr. Ward, myself, met with the Corps of Engineers, went over the project with them, and they actually approved the first project to fix some of the meandering of the drainage ditch. Well, the concern has always been losing this private driveway that serves these 5 homes off of Watson Lane. Well, as we've gotten that project repaired, there are other repairs that are going to have to be made. And the reason for me telling you all this, we think that we're going to have to create a project, a co-project with the water utility for the next budget year to address some of those concerns with that ditch. And I just want to give you that update in case if you get a phone call from a resident in that area. But most of all, this water ends up at the very north end of Canoe Creek, so it's rather a quite large drainage area, and it has a lot of velocity of water, and part of the improvements to Watson Lane have increased the size of the drainage structures that drain into this ditch. So it's just another project that we as the city and the water utility will have to address.
Yeah, but if you want to see it, just go north on Wathen, go just past the Wolf Hills entrance, and then the next little road on the left. If you turn on it, there's a ditch that runs right alongside that road, and you can see where it's eroding, and it could cause subsidence if we don't address it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a pretty important thing that we're going to do there.
We have selected with water utility a design firm to begin looking at the resolution of how to mitigate this, and that's a project that will probably take 4 to 6 months. Then there'll be permitting required through the Corps, so it would be probably a project for sometime late next fall.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
And Mayor, the last thing I have tonight is I wanted to just take a moment and just brag on our Parks Department as well as some of our community members. So as some of you all are aware, this was a busy weekend for our Parks and Rec Department. We had, on Friday, we had Thomas, I forget exactly, I'll tell you what, if you don't mind coming, you can help me with this. What was our event on Friday? We partnered with the Bridges Golf Course, and we had a drive-in movie night on Friday, and me and my family attended, and there were a couple hundred people there. It was a good turnout.
It was a good event. So it was a little cold outside, but I know Miss Jessica was down there as well, and it was good. So we had a lot of people down there. The movie played out really well, and people really enjoyed it. So that was a good night, good event out there.
And then Saturday they had the hayride at Canoe Creek there in Newman Park, and that coincided with the end of the PYSA soccer tournament. So there was a bunch of families and kids out there and did that. And that was a great event. And then so we had a weekend full plan, and then on Sunday we were supposed to have the East End Extravaganza, and the mayor and Thomas and I and several others, AKZ, we were kind of communicating, and unfortunately the weather didn't hold out for us. But I wanted to take a moment because I was actually at the Plex at a soccer game, and I was on the phone with Thomas afterwards, and he told me that they kind of made the most out of the situation. So I wanted to give kudos to Brescia Pruitt and Reverend Johnson, as well as James Gordon. Commissioner Pruitt, I believe, helped as well. Bruce Thomas and several others, JFK staff and AKZ. But they actually, since there was a lot of candy and you already cooked how many hot dogs?
About 800.
Yeah, about 800 hot dogs. So they went around to the community, passed out hot dogs, told the the people in the area, hey, come to the JFK. We've got some food, we've got some candy, and I think AKZ did a similar thing on the other end. So even though it didn't turn out to be the event we hoped, kudos to everybody involved who still made the best of it. And I think it was a great weekend. And I'll use this just as an opportunity to plug also. So everybody knows Friday is Halloween, and I think as of right now we're expecting decent weather. So we've got the downtown trick or treating that the Chamber of Commerce hosts from 3 to 5, but then from 4 to 7 we've got the Central Park Bash, and a lot of the vendors or at least a handful of the vendors who are going to do the East End Extravaganza are going to set up for that to kind of repurpose their candy.
Plus hot dogs.
Yeah, plus hot dogs, that's right.
Gotta get rid of them.
So everybody's welcome to come out to that. But I wanted to thank Thomas and all the community members and Brescia and Reverend Johnson who helped with that. So thank you all.
I just want to say, actually, we can do this first. Yeah. I just want to say to you and to Thomas, we had a really good Parks Department before, but I really do enjoy seeing all of the ways that you are trying to get the department involved in engaging the community. With all the events in different areas of town that encompass the whole entire community and help us come together and celebrate. I think that's one of the biggest reasons that my wife and I really wanted to settle in Henderson back when we did, back in 2003, was the way the community comes together to celebrate things. One of the first things we did was the Blues Festival downtown, for example. And so anything we can do just to add to that, we've got that spirit in the community where regardless of how much we fight and bicker and all that other stuff, we really do like each other. And, and we really do want reasons to celebrate. So thank you guys. There's just all the energy. It feels so good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
And Thomas, I also want to tell you, and I'm not saying it because I live in Henderson and love Henderson, this is the best place and the best government and the best people anywhere in the United States. And I'm not just saying that just to be saying it. Now, I'm serious. I don't care where you go. We may not have the big arenas, we may not have this or that, but you're not gonna beat the people. I don't care where you go, you're not gonna beat the people of Henderson. Now, we're glad we got you, so
Thank you.
kudos to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're just dishing out compliments to everybody. Anybody else want to come up and feel good?
Right, tell them about it.
That's all I got. That's all we got. Okay, I'm going to run through the commissioner comments real quick, and then we're going to have an executive session. I believe we're not going to come back with any action, and we're likely to be gone for a bit of time on this one. Commissioner Hargis, do you have anything today?
No, sir.
Commissioner Pruitt? Commissioner Thomas? We are good. We have need for executive session, and we are going to stay in this room. Is that right? Everybody good? Okay, so we're going to stay in this room for that executive session.
I move the commission go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.810, paragraph 1, subsection D, for discussion relating to possible future sale of real property located in the vicinity of Water District, future acquisition of property in the vicinity of South Adams, Center Street, South Holloway, and Clay Street, the property in the vicinity of Highway 60 East, US 41 North, Barrett Boulevard, and Killicranky Drive, and pursuant to KR 61.810, paragraph 1, subsection C, for discussion of proposed litigation against the city of Henderson.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye. We are in executive session. Thank you all so much for joining us today.